So let's talk about game week 10 in the NFL and some really, really interesting matches that we're looking forward to. I am looking forward to the next couple of games. There are some real doozies, I have to say. I think that a lot less has to be spoken about the Thursday night football. That was tough. It's very, very difficult to go through, you know, 4 quarters of what can only be, you know, two poor teams, the Panthers and the Bears. Very difficult. For us who are watching the game in the United Kingdom, I went to bed. I couldn't stay up to watch that. It was very, very difficult to watch. Very poor game. The Bears got the win, but I don't know if that tells you anything about those two teams. I think those two teams are gonna be, competing for the number one, overall slot at some point. So it's a case of who wins less, to eventually pick up that. But let's look at Sunday night football. The first game for us in the United Kingdom is the Indianapolis Colts and the Patriots. So this is another international game. I believe that they're playing in Germany this Sunday, and obviously it's the Veterans Day. Remember, in United States, it's gonna be a lot of um, homage, paid to the troops and all of that. It's all fascinating and good for us. And we also had a bit of that here in the United Kingdom. For football, and that was played here, the Premier League. And there was a lot of activities, just celebrating and paying their respect to all of those that were part of the wars and all the veterans, who've incredibly served, the country. So that should be Patriots and Colts. Well, Patriots. I mean, this is Tom Brady's time, but they don't tend to lose when they go away from the United States. But I think in that game, um, I don't know which way to go. That game is a real toss. The Patriots been really bad. I'm tempted to go for the Colts in this game, but the Patriots play teams hard. They play teams close. They just don't have that next play that would allow them to actually take the game. So I don't know. I might go for a Patriots win, but not by much. I expect this to be another gritty game. With defenses coming on top and maybe a field goal here or a touchdown there to take the point. Let's look at Ravens and Browns. Two AFC teams. The Ravens have owned the NFC teams. I mean, they absolutely shellac Seattle. Ravens, but I think that the Browns are a good match. I think the Browns are a good match for the Ravens. Browns have got a very good defense. You got Miles Garrett flying all over the place. You got Amari Cooper in the offense. I think it's just going to be a defensive. I think that what we saw the Ravens do to the um, Seattle Seahawks is not going to happen here. I don't think so. Um, the Browns could even win this game because they're two AFC teams. They see each other quite a lot. So I don't know. I'm going to go for the Browns in this game. I'm going to go for the Browns to win this one. So let's see. Next game, Steelers Packers. I mean, we all got excited about Jordan Love and thought he was the second coming of Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, listen, let's not be tired on the young man. It's his first NFL season as a starter. He's probably going through some adversity. He probably needs a little bit more help, running the ball and a few more pass catches could potentially just make a difference for him. So, but I'm gonna go for Steelers there. That game, I think the Steelers are gonna win that one. Um, One that I am very very excited for, and I am particularly looking forward to. Ever since this team absolutely shellacked the Cowboys, 42-10. I've been rooting against them. No surprises there. This is the 49ers and the Jaguars. And I fancy the Jaguars in this game. I just do because I think they've got a better quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is a lot better than Purdy. People can say what they want, but I think he's a better quarterback. I think ATN is very, very decent. And look, they have some really good linebackers in Jaguars. I like Olokun. He always makes plays. I watched them when they were over here in the United Kingdom, and I remember him. He was flying, all over the place. So I expect him to make some very crucial plays and critical plays. I mean, Debo's gonna be back. Um, I think this might be the first time that the 49ers might have their full complementary, but this is the first game. I don't expect them to slot in and all of a sudden it's just all systems go. I doubt that. So I'll go with the Jaguars win there. It's a bit biased, but I'm going to go with the Jaguars win in this one. Vikings and the Saints. Josh Hobbs got traded by the Cardinals, went over to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins went down for the season. And I mean, this guy was doing some superhuman stuff in the last game. Jinking, donking, swerving. It was very difficult to pull him down. Now the Saints have got a very good defense, so I expect him to give up a few picks in this game. Vikings Saints, Justin Jefferson, will he be back? I mean, Addison has been playing really, really well, and I think he's really establishing himself as a number one receiver. I mean, that's something to go for the Vikings. Next season, they could have Justin Jefferson, and then you have Addison and the X and the Y, and hey, that could be a handful for a lot of teams. But I think this season is just about being respectful, having a good, listen, they're not out of the playoffs, but I don't expect them to go very far. So that division, with the Bears and the Packers and the Vikings and Lions, I think there's still something to be said about the Vikings, making the playoffs. So who knows? But yeah, it's just gonna be one of those sort of playoff teams that everyone will be looking forward to playing, right? Because they're like, well, I'm sure we can take them. So I'm gonna go for the Saints victory. Sorry, Tim. Tim's my guy, and he's a Vikings fan, but I'm gonna go for a Saints victory in this one. Bengals Texans. Now, this game is for those of you who are not paying attention to the Texans, and because they probably don't do a lot of prime time games, you probably don't know what's happening over there. Well, it seems like there's another Patrick Mahomes, brewing in the Texans, because CJ Stroud is that dude. This guy has, simply been breaking records. I think he threw for over 400 and something yards, and he had the same amount of seconds that Dak had, and the difference was that he took his team down and they converted with 5 seconds left. And you know what happened to the Dallas Cowboys, so let's not talk about that. But CJ Stroud is looking really good. It was a really heartbreaking loss for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because Baker Mayfield played his heart out in that game. But when I look at this game, Bengals and Texans, I know that Joe Burrow is very, very hot. But T is not going to be playing. I know Jamel Chase will be there. But I look at this kid, you need to watch him play. Because when you watch him play, you kind of think this got something. Very calm, doesn't get flushed. And the most telling stat, that you can say to his credit is that he's thrown for 14 touchdowns and one interception. And that one interception for me is the big one because he's averaging about 8 yards per throw. So, I mean, if you're doing that and you're not getting intersections, that means that, you're pretty accurate. So I think the Bengals, if they take the Texans, very, very likely, they might live to regret that. So I think this might be a shootout. Might be a shootout. And I think whichever quarterback has the last possession might be the one to win this because Joe Burrow is good. He's hot right now. But hey, CJ Stroud is definitely that dude. So I don't know. And that game, I don't know where it's being played. So I don't know whether home field advantage is going to come into that one. But if you were really pressing me, I would say that it would be the Bengals, just more because Joe Burrow just got more experience than CJ Stroud. But I would not be surprised if Stroud won that game. So Bengals Texans, Bengals just, but I think Stroud might have something to say. Bucks Titans. Listen, another rookie, Will Levi, is gonna be playing for the Titans. They need to get Derrick Henry the ball. They don't give him the ball enough. And if Derrick Henry is your star player, you want to feed him early and often. I don't care how you do it. Throw it to him, hand it, have the rock, as much as possible. But they don't seem to do that. If they don't give Derrick Henry the ball, they're gonna lose. And so I'm gonna go with the Bucks, to win this game. Only because I just think that uh, something about Baker Mayfield after watching him against the Texans, it gives me some confidence, right? So I'm gonna go with Baker Mayfield in this one. You got Chargers, Lions. Chargers, not quite sure going on with them. She was another gritty performance. I think the Lions are gonna be a playoff team. I'm gonna go with the Lions in that one. I don't think too much. Two bad teams, Cardinal Falcons. I'm gonna go with the Falcons there. Cowboys, Giants. Now this is my team, and the last time the Cowboys met the Giants was the first game of the season, and that ended about 40-0. I don't expect that scoreline anymore in this game. But I would be lying if I said that I would be disappointed if the Cowboys don't win by at least 3 touchdowns. Now the trouble is with the Dallas Cowboys is that sometimes their first drive isn't how the rest of the game will go. If they come into that first drive and it's 3 and out, and I can see the Giants, playing for that and just hoping that they can get second Barkley, up and running in that game. And if they're able to do that, that would just, if the Giants go down and score, because it's not like they don't score, it's just not a very good team. What I want the Dallas Cowboys to come in and do is, go down, first drive, go down, score touchdown. No field goals, touchdown. Next drive, touchdown. Because I think that if you do that, then, this game is just going to, coast for you. But if you allow them hang around, like the Eagles did, and the Giants have played some teams really close, despite the fact that they're not very, very good. It doesn't matter what everyone's saying. I think the betting line was saying 17.5, 17.5, for Dallas to win. I mean, yeah, and everyone has jumped on that, even though I expect, Dallas to win by that much. But these guys get paid to, the Giants. So, for my money, I'll be it's a Cowboys win. Play with your food. Just go out there and handle your business and move on to the next. Seahawks, Commanders. I think Seahawks are gonna want to bounce back. After the shellacking that they had against the Commanders, who are traded everyone away. Very decent, but if I look at that game, I'm gonna tip the Seahawks, to win. So I'm gonna go with Seahawks winning the game. Raiders against the Jets. The Raiders, they sacked their coach. Devonta Adams should start to get a bit more of the ball. So that's Monday Night Football against the Jets. The Jets are stuttering a little bit. Still got a good defense, but I think the Raiders might have just a little bit more to take that game. So I'm going to go Raiders against the Jets. And then finally, so that was just Monday Night Football. That was Sunday Night Football because it's very late for us in the United Kingdom. So that's actually a Monday game for us, while the Bills and the Broncos is a Tuesday game. Now the Broncos played well against the Chiefs, and I have this feeling that they're going to play well against the Bills. Now the Bills have to respond. They lost to the Bengals in their last game. I expect that they'll want to bounce back from that. And I think the reports were saying something like they had a player only, sort of meeting or something like that. Hey, I've never played the game, so I don't really understand what happens, in those locker rooms. But I think let's just say that they were a bit disappointed with their loss against the Bengals. So they're gonna be going out there to try and prove a point. The Broncos are not very good. Let's be honest, they're not very very good. But they still have good defense, and Russ Wilson can still make one or two plays. I just think that Bills have got way too much firepower. I would be very very stunned if the Bills don't win this one. So I'm gonna go with the Bills to win this game. So that's my predictions and previews for the Sunday night football. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Dallas Cowboys, in the next post. So hang around for that. And hey, guys, please like and subscribe. What we're doing here. Please share this. We're trying to get to as many subscribers, as we can. And yeah, appreciate all the love. Appreciate, all the comments. Put your comments in the below. For each of the games, what do you think is gonna happen? Which game are you looking forward to? I've got my picks there with the Texans and the Bengals, and of course the Cowboys game as well. So, which game would you be looking forward to? And let's go and enjoy this NFL Sunday.